Hi, my name is Justin Stevens, and I'm a student here at Fairmont State University, and I'm an exercise science major. And the career that I'll be wanting to take with my path through exercise science is being a college football coach. Growing up, I remember at the age of 6 or 7, and throughout my childhood, being around my high school football team that my dad actually coached at the time, and having some of the best that was some of the best moments of my life. I can remember just feeling a part of the team and all the players that were older than me that I obviously looked up to, just making me feel a part of their family, making me feel a part as one of them. Now the difference between being a college coach and a high school coach, which my father was a high school coach, is just being a college athlete now and understanding the vast difference between the emphasis on winning at the high school level versus the college level. It's very different. At the high school level, at least where I'm from, and I understand things are evolving and changing, but you still have to be a coach within, and you have to still be a teacher or work within the county of education to be able to be a coach. And at the college level, if you don't win within 3 years, you're getting fired. You know, you're hired over productivity at the college level, and I want to be around a whole bunch of like-minded individuals that love the game of football just as much as I do. And to get to any level, Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, there's gonna have to be a sacrifice that is made, and those players are gonna love football. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna love football. There's a sacrifice that had to be made to get there, because not every high school athlete gets the chance to play college football. Now I want to talk about what I need as far as education to become a college coach. Now, to be a college coach at any level, Division I, Division II, Division III, a bachelor's degree is needed. A bachelor's degree is needed. Now I want to one day become a head coach. That's the ultimate goal. It's the ultimate dream. And to be a head coach, a master's degree is preferred, but it's very, very unlikely that coaches carry master's degrees, and that's just because all the time, one, college coaches were college athletes. Most of them played college football. And second, everybody as a college coach starts off somewhere different. Some people start at the very bottom of the totem pole, which is being a equipment manager, team manager. Some people are student assistant coaches, which means after their years of eligibility are done, they stay for 2 more years and work towards their bachelor's degree, work towards their master's degree, and while they're doing that, they just help coach an internship, and basically like a big internship, and they help be an assistant coach and coach the team that they played for. There's many different ways. There's many different ways to get involved in coaching and getting to the college level, but a bachelor's degree is required at any level that you coach at. Now, I want to go into the job outlook. Now, this can get tricky because as a college coach, there's going to be a lot of turnover. And then what I tell people, and a lot of people don't understand, is that as an assistant coach, as a college football coach, you're hired by the head coach. The head coach picks who's on the staff. So if your head coach gets fired, then you're out of a job too. And just understanding that there's going to be a lot of turnover. You might be in Texas one day and in Philadelphia the next. You're going to have to take the best opportunity for you and your family, but you will always have a job as a coach. I got this from ESPN. Employment of coaches and scouts is projected to grow 9% from 2022 to 2032, much faster than the average for all occupations. About 38,400 openings for coaches and scouts are projected for each year on average over the next decade. Now, the sport of football is forever evolving. It's always evolving. People in America love football. Even smaller colleges, that might be at the Division III level, smaller institutions are adding football teams because they understand the revenue that comes with football and the attendance and just the overall benefit of having a college football team on your campus. It's forever growing, and new coaching jobs are even opening up. There's so you can even be a position coach, which means you could be to a specific position, like you could be a running backs coach, or you could be a halfbacks coach, or tight ends coach, wide receivers coach. There's multiple different ways you can help coach a team and help coach a skill, position, and work yourself up. And also just understanding that there's always a ladder in college football. There's always going to be a ladder. And the top of the totem pole is just being a head coach. Being a head coach, you can go from a head coach to a defensive coordinator within a year. You can go from just a position coach to a head coach within a year. It's forever changing. You're forever have to keep climbing that ladder, at least for me, because I want the ultimate position. I want to be a head coach. I want to be able to oversee a whole program and be able to lead a whole program to wins and to victories. And just understanding that you're not always going to have that head coaching position, and even if you do, there's a lot of turnover, and you're always going to be looked at to be replaced because there's other people they can bring in, and productivity is the most important thing at the college level. And the game is forever changing. The game is forever changing. Areas change. And sometimes things just don't work at a certain college, but things work at another. There's always fits and things of that nature, but you will always have a job. You'll always have a job as a college coach. Now, the percentage. I want to go over the characteristics of being a college coach. Now, the number one thing I want to say is leadership. Leadership is the most important thing as a head coach. Even as a position coach, you're still going to be a leader of your position group, and your position group is going to look at you. But as a head coach, you oversee the whole program, and everybody looks at you. You need to be able to be. I remember growing up, my dad used to always tell me that college coaches have to walk their talk. And I believe that's very true. If you're high and erratic and crazy, your team's going to act high, erratic, and crazy. If you're calm, especially in high-pressure situations, if you're calm, your team is going to be calm. If it's fourth down and it's 4th and 1 and the game is on the line, if you're calm and laid back, your team's going to be calm and laid back. If you're up and antsy and shaking, your team's going to be up and antsy and shaking. If you're hyped up and fueled up and ready to go, your team's going to be hyped up and fueled up, ready to go. Your team is going to take on your personality. Now, there's going to be personalities on individuals on every team, but as a whole group, your team is going to take on your coach's personality, and just understanding that the way you want your players to act, you're going to have to act the same way. If you don't want your players to cuss, you can't cuss. If you want your players to act with class, you have to act with class. If you want your players to dress with class, you got to dress with class. Just being a head coach is the ultimate leadership position, and everybody's going to be looking at you, including your assistant coaches, including your staff, including the people in the school that you coach at. Now, the second one I say is high decision making, which kind of goes hand in hand with being a leader. There's going to be a lot of decisions that are made as a college coach, especially as a head coach. Times of practice, when you go just helmets at practice, when you wear full equipment, when there's contact days, when there's non-contact days, how many meetings you have, what time the meetings are at. There's going to be a lot of things and the decisions that are made, and every decision is going to have to be for the betterment and overall positive, for the betterment of the program. There's going to be decisions within, maybe a player's acting up, and you got to decide whether to kick them on or off. There could be situations where there's competitive edges, and emotions boil over, and fights might start. You need to understand where that line is of competition and when it's becoming a distraction. There's going to be plenty of decisions that are going to be made, but I think it overall just depends on the type of team and an identity and culture that you want to build for your football team, and it all starts with you. Now, going throughout this whole course and hearing all your great careers throughout exercise science, and I believe exercise science, I believe fitness, I believe this is the best and most important field in the world. But, for me, football is my passion, and nothing can drive me away from that. And, I can't wait to have Von Whistle on one day and be able to lead guys to war and be able to have them call me Coach a day and, be able to build something.